Across That Bridge, A Vision for Change and the First Step in Faith is an autobiographical memoir written by the late American politician and civil rights activist, John Lewis. The book chronicles Lewis's life from his childhood in rural Alabama during the Jim Crow era to his role as a key figure in the civil rights movement and his subsequent career as a U.S. representative. Throughout the narrative, Lewis reflects on the people, events, and experiences that shaped his values, beliefs, and commitment to social justice. The book begins with Lewis's childhood on his family's sharecropper farm in Pike County, Alabama. He was born in 1940, the third child of sharecroppers Willie May and Eddie Lewis. From a young age, Lewis was exposed to the harsh realities of segregation and the brutality of white supremacy. His family's poverty and the constant threat of violence instilled in him a deep sense of empathy and determination to fight for a better world. Lewis's awakening to the injustices of segregation came at the age of 6, when he was barred from a whites-only public library in his hometown. This experience sparked a lifelong love of reading and learning, which he pursued through his church and school. Lewis also became deeply involved in the local chapter of the NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. As a teenager, attending meetings and participating in protests. In 1957, Lewis traveled to Nashville, Tennessee, to attend the historic Nashville sit-ins. These peaceful protests aimed to desegregate lunch counters in downtown department stores. Lewis and his fellow activists endured physical and verbal abuse from angry white mobs, but their nonviolent resistance eventually led to the desegregation of Nashville's lunch counters. This experience solidified Lewis's commitment to the principles of nonviolence and the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi, whom he would later meet in person. Lewis's involvement in the civil rights movement continued to grow, and he became a key figure in the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCT. He participated in the Freedom Rides, which aimed to desegregate interstate buses and public transportation facilities, and the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963. It was during this march that Lewis delivered his now famous "I Have a Dream" speech, which inspired millions around the world with its vision of a more equitable and just society. Throughout his time with SNCC, Lewis faced numerous challenges and hardships. He was arrested dozens of times, beaten by police officers and white supremacists, and even survived an assassination attempt. Despite these setbacks, Lewis remained committed to his cause, drawing strength from his faith and the support of his fellow activists. He also developed a reputation as a skilled orator and strategist, playing a pivotal role in organizing and leading many of the movement's most significant events. In 1965, Lewis participated in the Selma to Montgomery marches, which became a turning point in the civil rights movement. The marches were met with brutal violence from state and local law enforcement, but the images of peaceful protesters being attacked by police dogs and fire hoses shocked the nation and helped galvanize public support for civil rights legislation. As a result of these efforts, the Voting Rights Act of 1965 was passed, guaranteeing African Americans the right to vote. Following the passage of the Voting Rights Act, Lewis continued to fight for social justice in various capacities. He served as a staff member for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, CLC, and worked to register voters in numerous states across the South. In 1981, he was elected to the Atlanta City Council, becoming the first African American to hold the position since Reconstruction. In 1986, Lewis was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, representing Georgia's 5th Congressional District. He would go on to serve in Congress for more than 3 decades, becoming known as one of the most effective and respected lawmakers in Washington. Throughout his tenure, Lewis continued to champion civil rights and social justice causes, including voting rights, healthcare reform, and LGBTQ rights. He also played a key role in the impeachment proceedings against President Donald Trump. Throughout his life, John Lewis remained committed to the principles of nonviolence and the belief that change could only come through collective action and moral courage. He was a tireless advocate for justice and equality, and his legacy continues to inspire countless people around the world to fight for a better future. Across That Bridge is a testament to Lewis's extraordinary life and his enduring impact on American history.